Well, welcome to the post-race press conference here in Jeddah after round 4 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Please welcome third-place driver on the left, Jake Hughes from Maserati MSG Racing. A second time on the podium this weekend on the right for Taylor Barnard, and also making his second podium appearance after his second win of the season, Nissan Formula E driver Oliver Rowland. An all-British podium. It's what I like to see.
Not bad.
Another win, 17-point lead at the top of the championship. Just how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, obviously really good. Yesterday was a good day. Yesterday was a little bit disappointing, obviously, to lose it in the last corner. But I think again today we executed qualifying in a good way. We didn't quite have as much as Taylor, who did a great job and a great lap. But yeah, in the race we stayed calm. Honestly, going into the race, I was pretty content even to be in the top 5, not knowing how the race would go. But I was able to I was in a fortunate position in the beginning where I could kind of be efficient, not be under too much pressure, and manage to build up a bit of energy. But yeah, feeling really good, really happy with the car, with the team. Clearly we're in quite a good place at the moment. So yeah, just trying to enjoy it and make the most of it.
We heard you talking about the energy on your team radio. How confident were you with the strategy after yesterday and what happened?
Well, I always have like flashbacks of Misano, then flashbacks of Sao Paulo, and then a little bit yesterday. So there's always a moment where I'm doubting what's going on. But yeah, it was clear that the energy advantage was quite early on, and the communication honestly was really good with my engineer today. He was able to keep me informed of who was doing what, and yeah, thankfully it was right.
And also nice that he could celebrate with you this time around.
Sorry?
And nice that he could celebrate with you at the track this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, both my race engineer and performance engineer, you know, they work extremely hard. So big credit to them. And yeah, he wasn't able to be there in Mexico with his appendix, so nice for him to be here today.
Finally, how different did this race feel to yesterday? Obviously, there was a lot of talk about pit boost yesterday. That's been and gone until the next doubleheader. This was a different style of race.
Yeah, it was completely different. We knew it, right? The energy today was much lower than yesterday. We knew it was going to be that stacked up peloton type of race where you can have contact, you can be unfortunate, you can pick up punches, you can get damage. You kind of just have to stay out of trouble. I think they're two different kind of races. I have to watch both of them back because I only saw them from my perspective. So I don't know what the general feeling is, whether people prefer yesterday or today, but they're definitely a different spectacle. But both are reasonably enjoyable. Maybe today's one less so if you come out worse. But yeah, I think it's something that we have to get a feel for and see which works.
Well, congratulations again, Oliver Rowland there. First place with Nissan Formula E team. Taylor Barnard with Neon McLaren. We see you back here on the podium again. You're getting quite used to being on the podium. A double here in Jeddah. You also have another trophy from your pole position as well. A lot to take home on that plane. How are you feeling right now?
Absolutely amazing. Coming into this weekend, I didn't expect to take home 3 trophies, and I had a lot of points. You know, I couldn't have asked for much better, honestly. The team have done a great job, given me a great car, and I've managed to execute.
We saw Maximilian win from pole position yesterday, the first time in 17 races in Formula E that's happened. When you see what he did yesterday from pole, you're on pole today, do you feel that maybe that something else could have happened that could have got you the same kind of result today?
I mean, not really, to be honest. Like, today was such a different race compared to yesterday. We have to recover and regenerate 10% more energy than yesterday, so I knew to keep the lead for the whole race was going to be almost impossible. At some point, I had to drop back and try and recover the energy compared to everyone else. I could do it just hold on to second, but look, starting from pole and finishing second, super happy.
You've got third place trophies, you've got a pole position trophy, you've now got a second place trophy. You know what I'm going to ask you now? How far away is that first win?
It's not far away. I think I'm just collecting all of the colours at the moment. No, but that's definitely my target. Look, when the car can do it, I'll definitely do my best. But I think the focus for myself at the moment is just keep scoring these big points. It's important for myself and for the team, and it will come.
And finally, the Nissan powertrain has shown itself as being very strong and the leading powertrain, I would say, so far this season. That must be very reassuring for you. Where do you see McLaren in the pecking order of teams this early in the season?
Well, I mean, Nissan's first in the Teams Championship and we're just 1 point behind, so it's quite clear that the powertrain is very strong. for sure there will be our weaknesses. There will be weekends where we're not so good, where we're strong, but the races where we are strong, we have to capitalise and take the points, and where we're not so strong, we just have to do the maximum that we can, and at the moment it seems like we're doing that.
Congratulations again. Good luck with that extra baggage charge with all the trophies you're taking home. Taylor Barnard, second place from Neil McLaren. As we move on to Jake Hughes with Maserati MSG Racing, your first podium for the team. You must be feeling great.
Yeah, very good. Really strong weekend, you know, fifth and a third. Good points on the board. I think we've been pretty strong, to be honest, since I stepped out of the car on lap 3 in Brazil. I think we've done a pretty good job, especially in the races. But yeah, really happy to get my first podium today. I think we managed a really good race. We basically executed the race we wanted to beforehand. So yeah, kudos to everyone. I think especially Ollie today was just a bit too good, and I think we were good to be fighting with Taylor and the McLaren.
A strong weekend for your powertrain as well, as we look at it across the two races. That must be encouraging so early in your relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, apart from Max today, we've basically had all 4 Stellantis cars in the points in the last few races. So yeah, along with the Nissan boys, I think yeah, we're looking good. Probably more so than probably expected, I think it's fair to say. So to get these points on the board now, hopefully we can have a strong, not second half, but a strong rest of the season as well.
You mentioned some aggressive defending on your TV interview. I know you just got out of the car. Now the sort of dust has settled slightly. Do you want to maybe reflect on that?
Look, it's on the edge. I mean, fair play to Taylor. He did everything he needed to do. You get out of the car and you think it's a little bit on edge, but I'd probably do the same, to be honest. But yeah, in the end, take a podium.
And finally, obviously, it is an all-British podium, the first time in Formula E. How proud does that make you feel to be part of?
Yeah, representing, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I think Jake was up for 4th as well, so top 4, actually. Don't know where Sam was, but yeah, Dan, I think, was driving a good race as well, so yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Excellent stuff. Congratulations. I'll open it up to questions if you'd like to raise your hand. We're going to see if we can... has anyone got a question that hasn't asked a question this weekend before? No? OK, we'll go with the gentleman at the front first.
Hello, Oliver. Congratulations on P1. What an incredible drive that was. Can you tell us what has changed from last night's team strategy that led you to pole position?
Sorry, say that again.
Can you tell us what has changed from last night's team strategy that led you to pole position?
I think that, like we spoke about, yesterday's race was quite a lot different in terms of energy consumption, but for sure today I never let myself kind of overconsume, put my target down. I was pretty disciplined with that, and I think just overall communication was much better between the team and me to understand where I was in the race. So I honestly think it just came down to communication. Yesterday my engineer's radio was really poor, so I could only hear like 40% of what he was saying during the race. But today it was much clearer, and he was much more direct and clear with his feedback.
Nick Golding from Racing News 365. Question to all three of you, of course, as John mentioned, it's a British 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking at you three, all different ages, different stages of your career as well. What do you think this shows about the British motorsport scene at the moment?
That we're pretty good at it, I guess. No, I mean, motorsport is famous in the UK. A lot of the teams here in Formula E are based there. A lot of the teams in F1 are based there. A lot of the talent in not just driving, in staff, and where you learn to drive and where engineers learn to work and teach you to drive as well, is a lot of it's based in the UK. So we're very blessed with that, and we keep, churning it out. I guess Sam's some in late 30s, we're mid 30s. Taylor's like a child, so I mean he's basically out of diapers, isn't he? And yeah, I'm sure there'll be more to come as well.
Yeah, I think we've always been spoilt for good racing drivers, and I think it stems to the real grassroots. I think it starts off with karting from such a young age. It's extremely competitive. I think it gives a really good breeding ground. We have some great tracks in the UK. One of the most competitive series is a youngster in the world, and I think it breeds us in a really good way to develop. Hopefully we can keep that. I mean, I've seen him since he was in cadets, so yeah, I think we just have a really solid foundation in the UK from really the bottom up to the top. But sometimes it's not a good thing because we're so spoilt, we struggle to get the help and support that some of the kids need. But yeah, it's something that I guess we'll work towards in the future.
Can I ask you, Taylor, on that? How does it feel to be racing it against Ollie, given that we technically team boss back in the day? Would you call it that?
A little bit. I mean, I actually wasn't his team boss. I just thought what he did was really good and really cool, and he was in a position where he didn't have much on the table, so I helped him get the step up.
So when you see him doing so well, you think, well...
Yeah, as long as he doesn't do too well.
Do you get commission?
No.
Yeah, of course. I mean, first of all, answering the question about UK drivers, I think, like what Ollie said, it comes from karting. I was fortunate enough to do my whole junior career in the UK in karting. And then going on to what you just spoke about with Ollie, I mean, I finished my UK karting campaign and I didn't have money to do anything else, so Ollie was kind of the bridge between UK and European karting, which then gave me the opportunity to give me a platform and show what I could do. And obviously without that, I definitely wouldn't be sitting here today, so I have a lot to owe Ollie. Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you very much for the question. One last question here, we just have very quickly if possible. Thank you.
روان حمدان الشرق الأوسط. Since the Jeddah Corniche circuit weekend have come to an end, I want to know your reflect about it in general and in the Jeddah Corniche circuit in particular.
For me, actually, the circuit, before coming here, I wasn't a big fan. On the sim, a little bit too slow chicanes in the last corner, but once going on track, I don't know if both of these guys agree, but like the grip level it's offering and the precision to put the lap together was actually really, really enjoyable and something that I'd say ranks up there in the top 5 or 6 tracks on our calendar. And I've actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I mean, agree with Ollie. I think driving it on the simulator, I don't think fell in love with it straight away. But as Ollie said, you get here, the grip's super high. Pulling the lap together is so challenging. And I think, we had such a good track in Diriyah that it was quite easy to think that we were maybe not stepping down, but like missing out on the Diriyah track. But actually, having done the weekend here now, I think it's been a really cool track to drive.
I don't know what else to add. The guys have covered everything. The same as Ollie, really. Coming here, I wasn't really in love with the circuit immediately, but after a good quali and 2 good races, honestly, I really like it. When you're in the duels, all-wheel drive and 350 kilowatts, it's such a cool track to try and push to the limit very fast, and you have to be very precise. So, for me, putting it up together here is super fun.
Thank you very much for your questions. Congratulations again to our drivers. My friend here would just like to say something to the local media, and that all drivers will be available shortly outside in the media pen. Thank you.
المزيد من المقابلات راح يكونوا موجودين بمنطقة الإعلام بالبادوك. شكراً.